Yeah, it just takes a long time to darken. Yeah, this out. Oh, sh! Ooh! Burn a hole in your shoe. You can see the hole.
I burned a hole through my sock. Whew. That was like on fire.
He's like, hot toe, hot toe.
How's it going, YouTube? And welcome to a new episode of First Timers. And today we are going to be talking about welding the roof on the El Camino, or actually not even just talking about it, we're going to be doing it. But first, we just kind of wanted to showcase everything we've done so far, everything that we've cut off, everything that we've cleaned up. We are still working on the roof at this point, and we had to really wire wheel and clean off everything. I just didn't want to go back and talk about how much work that was, but that was a lot of work to do to get into every crevice. We did use etching primer, and I'll kind of get to that at the end of the video here. But where we're going to start off is on the sail panel, because I cut off a piece where the roof meets the sail panel, and we needed to actually have a little section there. So it'll actually hold when we weld onto it there. Now overall it looks amazing. The welds actually came out nice, and we did do a nice little bead. Obviously this little section is probably going to need a little bit of body filler, but again, that's not an issue for what we're going to be doing. We won't talk about body filler just yet, just because that's going to be a whole other segment here. And then in the photo here, you can kind of see how it turned out after we grinded all the high welds down. And again, we did a lot of work just because we wanted to make sure everything was flat. So we did a lot of grinding and cutting, as well as wire wheeling. And this part of the video, we really just took our time. You'll pretty much notice that we did work for about 3 hours, pretty much prepping it. So by the end, by the mid portion of this video, you're going to notice that it is dark, but it is one of those things that we did take a lot of our time. Now on the roof, you're going to see that there's little tabs on the roof, so we had to cut them off. I'm assuming that's when they pretty much made them and stamped them, so they needed to actually have like an anchor point. So we had to cut both tabs off on the passenger and driver side of the roof. I did kind of grind it and make it flush and just kind of level it out, just so it didn't look bad. I really didn't want to hit it with a grinder or anything, because I just didn't want to risk it bending the steel if something kind of caught on the edge. So I just really took our time trying to get this portion straight. Now, as you notice here, Hiro was still wire wheeling a lot of the front of the dash, trying to get it down as much as possible. Again, the idea is we want to make sure that the prep is good, so when we paint that area and you kind of look through the windshield, it looks nice and clean. Now, I did have someone else here with us, and that was Raphael, and Raphael is actually using the air nibbler, which will actually make the holes so we can actually weld between the holes to the actual metal here. Now, as we're welding, or as we're making the holes, I tried to make it about every couple inches apart. If there seemed to be more of a gap, then we kind of adjusted that there. Now, towards the middle of this video, when we actually put the roof on, I am going to use bonding adhesive to actually bond down the drip rails, just because a lot of those areas are very difficult to actually weld, and you don't want to mess up that line. So here is Raphael also using the air nibbler here, or air hole punch, however you want to call it. I call it a nibbler because it also bends and pokes holes, but overall it's an air hole punch, and pretty much we're making the holes to where the quarters meet the roof line. So we're going to be doing 4 only, and then I can run a couple beads if I feel like it needs more. But other than that, I don't think it's going to need too many holes on this section here. The sections that usually I worry about are usually going to be the front roof portion, or the front of the roof where the windshield sits in, and then the rear where the rear window sits in. So pretty much, like I said, we made about 2 to 3 inch spaces between the holes, and it, like I said, turned out really nice. And again, using an air tool like this is a lot easier than using a crimping tool, so you're not hurting your hand. Also, make sure once you start welding and everything like that, you do want to clear out anything that might catch on fire. So we did throw a lot of the foam material into the back of the bed as we were cleaning out, since there's no rear window or rear glass. So we just kind of tossed it in there. And so we tried to clean it up. Now the bonding material here, the adhesive, is made by 3M, and we're kind of brushing it on. Now the main reason we're brushing it on is the tube that we had, the actual tube itself that mixes it together was solid, so couldn't clean it out. And the best way for me to kind of mix it here was using a piece of cardboard and kind of like a mixing scraper there, as you can see. And we're doing a light coat first. Now this coat needs to be thick if you really want it to bond, but we're doing a light coat first just because we're gonna put the roof on and push it down to see where it's gonna actually be touching on the actual roof line, or the inner part of the roof. So the main reason that we want to do this is because when we actually lay it up, we want to make sure that we can cover those gaps with it. So like I said, we started off with light brushing. I did have Hiro also do some of the brushing, so he was trying to make sure that he was getting it on there very nice, and making sure that the coating looked really good, and like I said, covered everything. Now I know some people, they like to do more than scuff sanding. We just kind of did like a little scuff sand on it, but other than that, or actually it's just like grinding, but we did scuff sanding, so we didn't go too crazy. Now again, you can kind of see us where we're trying to push it down, trying to see how it's going to look, and we pull it back off again, and we have our line mark, and then we can pretty much mix a little more of our batch here, and then put it onto the areas that's going to be touching. We also did kind of coat the inside of the drip rail. Now the beauty with, like I said, this stuff is it turns into like a solid rock, and it'll pretty much bond these two pieces together without us having to weld in the drip rails. So that's again one of my favorite things that I do like to use if you're going to be doing some body panels that are in some fragile areas. And like I said, that's a fragile area for me. And once you pretty much push it all down, hold it in its spot there, you can use some body clamps and clamp it down. Now I really don't kind of showcase us using the body clamps, but yeah, we went in and used some body clamps to hold it. Now again, it does take about 4 hours for it to go solid, so we did go into some spots and did some welding to actually hold a few of the sections down, and then we moved on to the next day, and like I said, clamp the roof down so it'll actually turn hard. Now that material is sandable, grindable, paintable, all that fun stuff. Just make sure that in the drip well you just don't have it everywhere, because that just means more work for you. Again, it did take a lot of welding and a lot of time, so every time you're doing a weld, you don't want to hold in a spot too long. You don't want to warp the metal. You also want to try to skip, I try to skip every third hole. Right here I was kind of just testing a little section, but as we came towards the end here, I did want to kind of showcase that we're using a product called SEM, and this is etching primer first. As we're sitting there spraying bare metal, you just want to make sure that your paint's going to actually stick and hold onto your surface. So the idea is using the etching primer first, and then you can pretty much use whatever paint you would want to use. They do make a black trim that actually looks really nice, and that's a product that we did use on the inner roof as well, not on the actual sheet metal itself, but on the braces that hold the roof together. And like I said, it does turn out very nice and looks really clean. As Hiro does another panning view from the other side, we can kind of show you how it's turning out and looking. Overall, it looks amazing. It looks great. We did a lot of work. We're still welding that top edge. I didn't finish that section just because, like I said, we're doing a lot of work there. Now you can kind of see where we kind of did the welds, grinded it all down. We grinded the top down. You can see the patch in the upper right hand corner there, and like I said, it turned out amazing. So I can't wait for you guys to kind of see the next video when we actually get the windshield in there. So anyway guys, see you later.
Dang! See, look at that, Hiro giving me his passenger window doesn't go down. It's like we're only going 35 miles an hour, but it feels fast.